the vast majority of the time ends up being somewhat tedious. What happened to the aerogel? That has apparently stopped. Or is insufficient. Oh, no, I have aerogel. It's just, not... It's just slowness of the Logibots. So that's what's going to happen now, is I have these 8,000 Logibots in the system. 8,117 Logibots in the system now. It's going to keep adding more of Mark IIs and slowly replace as we get more and more of these Mark IIs. I'm not going to tell it to stop, I think, at this point. I think I'm just going to keep producing Logibots. I don't know about you, but in fact, if I do anything, I'm going to put a red wire on here saying only stop at like 10,000. That's what I think I'm going to do. Only stop making these Mark IIs when I get up to 10,000 of them. Yeah, you need to do... I need the wire. Wire! Wherefore art thou? Do that. Read the stats. I'm looking for Y. Or better yet, if X, if X is less than 500, I want you on. So if X falls below 500 available, I need you to add more into the system. Now that is going to allow me to produce and add into the system as I need more. So I don't have to keep coming back here to tell it to keep increasing the amount of Logibots. It just means I don't have a nice, elegant, round number of bots. I will have what I need to have of these Mark IIs at any given time. So, yay! Yay! Super Steel is moving. We've got bots upgrading to Mark II. We've got blue belts. We've got green belts from the blue belts. We've got super alloy that can also be used for stuff. What can I make now? So the next thing to do is to set up the beautiful combustion turbine Mark IIIs. That is absolutely something that I want to be making. These beautiful doohickeys. All that's required here was that I get to special small parts for them, as well as have access to the circuits. What now? Oh, it's just the bot count. Right. The available Logibots is too low. It is too low. So I need it. I need them. We can see here the issue, right, with being like 50 times the amount. There's not enough space in this container for 50 times, right? For all of these things. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't want to have 100 of those in here, or 2.5k of the things, and that's where I have to be very observant of stuff being requested. Also, absolutely need to give you one of those. In fact, I need to go through and just blanket upgrade to these ultra fast inserters. That's pretty much a requirement. An absolute requirement. Oh, you have some special small parts and you just get enough iron. Just get enough iron and I will have my first Mark III combustion turbine. Hello, beautiful, beautiful thing. Hello, my beautiful building. So these guys have a power efficiency of 147%, which means that they can output up to 130 megawatts each. They do, however, consume up to 90 units per second of fluid to do so they are slightly different than the previous tier of building. The previous tier of building, the Mark II turbine, is 60 units per second of stuff. In fact, I will go ahead and grab one of those so that we can see A, the size difference between the two, and B, we can see on the hover over the tooltip here, consumes 60, max power output of 56.1 megawatts as opposed to 130. Yeah, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big difference there. Noting that we're using, 50% more fluid in the process here between these two machines. So 130 minus 56.1 is a difference of 73.9 megawatts. We then need to divide that by 2, I think, because of that 50% difference in the fluid consumption. That means effectively on a per unit of fluid basis, comparing these two, when you take into account their differences in consumption rate, one of these Mark III combustion turbines will output about 37 more megawatts compared to the Mark II. About 37 more megawatts each. Which is significant. That is significant. That's 37 more megawatts than you would have had previously. It is a bigger building, though. But you need fewer of them. So for a setup like this over here, which was very elegantly 30, it's not going to be 30 anymore when I upgrade to the Mark IIIs. It'll be very much different. Very much different. But that 1,800 units of fluid is going to end up being, 37 more megawatts by comparison to the Mark IIs on a per building basis. Ish. So, a bit. A little bit. And then if we divide, let's see, if we divide that by that initial 56.1, it's a 65.8-ish% difference. So my 1 gigawatt would end up having about 65% more. So a 1.6 some odd. I think that's how that works. I could be completely wrong. I always will say that I could be completely wrong about math. Okay, we have about 15 minutes left in the stream. What the hell am I going to do now? I can make Mark III AUG paddocks. No, I don't see the need to. But it is that time to think very, very much about the Mark III buildings. Now is the time to think about the Mark III buildings and start making some of the things that are going to be required for the Mark III buildings, if I can currently make them. Because some of the things are going to be locked by purple science at the moment, tech unlocks. Now, something like this for the gasifier at Mark III requires paramagnetic material, which I have, but we would need the harmonic absorbers and the diamagnetic material. Just these two things. That's all we need to get these Mark IIIs. So the harmonic absorbers, I cannot make because it is locked behind Earnshaw's theorem. So we cannot do that until we get more purple science, and it's going to require some zinc oxide nanoparticles as well as hyperelastic material, which is one thing that I can make as long as I can make the Resilin, which I can't because nanotech. And nanotech is a purple science. Zinc nanocompounds also behind nanotech. That's going to be fun, having to bring in the Relesia to do all this. Fortunately, I have a Relesia factory, so that is going to be just fine. Now, Resilin itself is also used for a better biofilm recipe. That's going to be great. And also nanochondria, which is going to be required a bit later. Going to need that Arcod jelly as well. at some point. I'm going to need to set up Dingrits. I'm going to need to set up Scrondrix and Krydren and all that good stuff. We've got lots of alien life in our near future, I think, that I will need to set up, especially now that I have access to the come out enclosures. So if I can find them, I think they are up here. Yes, we can see that I have made 42 come out enclosures thus far. In fact, I'm just gonna like limit you to just one stack of 10, and then have the Mark IIs. So I have a few Mark II come out enclosures now, which was blocked by Super Steel. You see here, the come out enclosures, Super Steel. Although the Mark IIs, just I can get whenever. That's fantastic. Oh, hey, do I have a Mark III come out enclosure? I do. Biopolymers, carbon nanotubes, heavy fermion material. Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Alright, so what would be a good contender for a useful first Mark III, true Mark III building besides the power production? I'm thinking high pressure furnace. I'm thinking high pressure furnace and standard assembling machines. Well, these bigger automated factories and advanced foundries. So those are like the top three that get used quite a bit. If I push P or not P, if I look at my power consumption, as we go through these buildings, we see high pressure furnaces. I have 794 Mark 1s of those. Most of that is coke processing. But as we go down, we've also got soil extractors. That's not going to use modules. We're looking for things that are going to use a consistent or a bunch of modules over time. I've got a lot of electrolyzers. I do have a lot of the microorganism mines and jaw crushers from ore processing. So we've got DDCs here, Mark II high pressures here. Chem plants can't upgrade. Washers don't use productivity. Gasifiers. Looks like I'm not actually using that many of the factories. Or the foundries. There's the automated factories. I have 223 total of them. But they are making very important things. So I want, therefore I will get. How about you? That's the heavy oil refinery. Can't get that until heavy fermion. So let's have a look. Where am I producing the stuffs? So here's the automated factories. What do I need for the Mark III? We need some stuff that I don't think I can get yet, but we can try and have a look. So biopolymer and volumetric energy capacitors. I don't know about those volumetric energy capacitors. I can make them. That is just a building placement. Okay, molecular assembler go. That's one of these doohickeys. Okay. I very much enjoy the buildings that's just like place and forget. So this volumetric assembler, which is also going to need a pressure pump wherever I put that assembler. Oops, I have completely forgotten. There we go. You need a pump. Oh yeah. I need those too. In fact, I should just go through down the line and just make things. But yeah, I need that. You can have power. How much? 30, huh? That'll be enough. That'll be enough. This normally has a building level limitation against productivity, but I have removed it from my productive Pyandons mod, so I can actually use these. Under normal circumstances, these cannot be used because of the building level limitation, but my mod changes that, which is a massive, massive note I need to make. Anything involving these molecular assemblers normally doesn't have productivity associated with it because it's a building level limitation that I have removed on purpose because it's dumb. It is a very, very stupid building limitation. All right, so that will be those. Go ahead and like limit to 2 stacks of those. At some point, it'll be those. They exist in theory. And the other item I needed there was biopolymer. Oh, the bane of my existence. I cannot make biopolymer at this point in the game because of the lack of the nanotechnology tech, which is a purple science. So I could get it, but you know, and then I can't do it because of silver foam, because silver foam, oh, actually unlocks earlier. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I do actually have access to silver foam. Or maybe I just picked up the fusion tech for it. Because silver foam used to be locked. Yeah, it used to be locked behind like fusion stage 3 or something like that. Really, really stupid. But it does seem that it has been moved at some point, so it's no longer behind there. So I can actually do the silver foam. It's just that the biopolymer is nanotech, and you can see all of the evil, evil things, all of the evil stuff involved in silver foam production. Just the satanic silver foam and all of the awful, awful gases that it uses. The terrible, terrible, terrible gases and fluids. They exist in more than theory at this point. Yay. There was, like, metallic glass I saw that I could also make in here. So I may as well just set the thing down to make the metallic glass while we're here. Just wait for a Constructo bot to bring the thing. We are almost halfway to Effect Transmission 2. That is remarkably fast. So yeah, I don't need the Negasium because that's part of an alternative method of making science. I will need the depositive vanadium cores as well, so I'll go ahead and do that placement. You need not much. Good. Let's do input, output, like so. Input, output. So you need a whole bunch of stuff I have. Take all of the productivity. You are going to make those with all of the productivity. That's a little overkill on the output by having one of these ultra fast. That's why I tend to try to avoid using them for that purpose. But yeah, oh god, that's a lot of That's a lot of vanadium. That is a lot of vanadium to make these. And the magnetic cores I should have some production of, which is fantastic. PCB4. PCB4 is very important, but I cannot get it until nanotech. Darn you, nanotech. The key tech at Purple Science, by the way, is nanotechnology. It unlocks so very much. Like including, I think, the heavy fermion. Yeah, it unlocks the heavy fermion with the 70% uranium powder requirement. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Like otherwise, PCB4 isn't so bad. The bio batteries are real bad, real bad. Can we just mention how bad bio batteries are? Can I spend the last 3 minutes of my stream today just complaining about bio batteries? Because they are a very valid thing to complain about. Just for the record, bio batteries are one of those things that absolutely deserve all of the complaints ever. So these things here are evil and satanic in that, in particular, there is no productivity on the entirety of the chain to produce these things. Of the relevant things that could and should use productivity. So, like, seriously, it uses so much alien bacteria. Can I just point that out? Just, it is such an obscene amount of alien bacteria here. Because that is an obscene amount of serine for the alien bacteria in the first place, in particular, and an obscene amount of come out tendons to make the serine for them. So it's like it's a snowball effect compounding the cost on these biobatteries. Ah, oh, God, this should be half the bacteria minimum, half the bacteria, maybe even just down to 25 per cycle. Because otherwise, yeah, it's way too much. It is way too much. It's 2 niobium magnets per biobattery. Or neodymium, excuse me. Per biobattery. Like, this is just evil. This is evil. And what is it used for? You know, just PC mounted substrate 4 or 3 and 4. Just, you know, the mounted circuit substrate that you need to make circuit 3s. And the PCB4 to make your circuit 4s. You know, just simple stuff. Just the simplest of things. Yeah, so many tendons. And then, of course, the serine. The serine also does not take productivity to do the serine. Serine does not take productivity. Why? Screw you, that's why. That's the only reason is just screw you. Oh hey, it's the Mark II, my Mark II bots. I see you. I see my cargo bot, my cargo buddy at Mark II. Immortal has arrived for the very end of the stream. Hello. What did Immortal miss now that I'm about to end the stream? You missed me putting down this beautiful machine, making vanadium. So the plan to go in today was to actually do the real vanadium processing chain, but that changed a little bit. I modified my plans. So the plan was to do this, was to do this, and this, and that. Just, you know, all the things to make a huge amount of vanadium pentoxide. Instead, what I ended up doing was placing down a singular particle accelerator with a whole bunch of speed upgrades and apparently you can use level 4 plus of the Bob's module efficiencies on particle accelerators. You can't use level 1, 2, or 3, but you can sure as hell use level 4 plus on these right now to get the power consumption brought down significantly. This thing is like the equivalent of 9 making vanadium. Did that, and then made super alloy. Super alloy. Glorious and beautiful super alloy. It exists. I've got 2.4K super alloy being made now that I have vanadium. Then I went over and I put molten stainless steel onto my train network and brought it in to my mall and started making super steel out of it. I started making super steel out of it somewhere. Wherever I put that thing, making super steel. Here, right here. So we've got some super steel now, and it's being used as fast as it's being produced. And then I also set up the aerogel processing chain. Just, you know, so we can have some aerogel. So that I can now have a sufficient quantity of greater than 0 amounts of special small parts. And with the combination of super steel, stainless steel, or super steel, super alloy, and special small parts. With that trinity of stuff, basically everything is unlocked now. Like most everything, including all of the blue belt and the green first level belt of the Ultimate Belts mod, as well as the Mark II robots, as well as the Mark III combustion turbines. So I have a few of those now as well that I can use to further increase my power production. That is what we have done today. We have set up an initial trickle of vanadium through particle acceleration, as well as started producing super alloy and super steel and special small parts, including the aerogel chain that was required for that, and are now going through and using that stuff to produce other things and thinking about the production of Mark III buildings. That is the plan. Also, vatbrain purple science is moving with the production of special small parts. The vatbrain can now do its thing by spending the special small parts on purple science, converting green, blue, and pi science into singular units of purple science at a time, wherever the heck my vatbrain is. Here. The vatbrain! It lives! It lives! It's been on a break for a long time, but now it's here, and it's producing purple science in greater than zero amounts. It's glorious, magnificent, and beautiful. And now I'm just going through and seeing what I can actually make at Tier 3, because some of the stuff you can't make yet until I pick up the nanotech tech, but some of the other stuff I can. What about this one? Foundry Mark III. What do you have? Harmonic absorbers and diamagnetic. I cannot make those yet until nanotech. So it's the same thing here on the gasifiers. So sadly, some of the most important stuff I cannot make yet for Mark III. This is heavy fermion, which dang it. Heavy fermion I cannot do until nanotech and uranium processing. How about the DDCs? The DDCs, please, something. Biopolymer, of course. Washers, please. Diamagnetic and heavy fermion, of course not. Of course, my dreams get shattered by all the Mark III stuff. For reference, by the time you have all the stuff to make the Mark III stuff, you usually are in the at purple science on your way to utility. By the time you have all the stuff to do all the Mark III stuff, you'll have utility science at that point. That's sort of how it's designed. How about this one? This one is again biopolymer, which is all the useful buildings. All the useful buildings blocked by rather annoying things. Yep, I can't do that. I can't do that. Can't do the diamagnetic and harmonic absorbers yet. Can't do the biopolymer yet. How about this? Can I at least do this one? Yes. I think the answer to that is yes. A resounding yes. I can absolutely do the Mark III pressure pump. The glorious Mark III pressure pump. That is where we'll end it, is by putting down that research center. Why? Why are you a research center? And consuming liquid nitrogen. Why do you do both of these things? Here, let's put down this research center. Input, output. research centers, by the way, also one of those buildings that does not take productivity. So the superconducting magnetic unit. The superconducting magnetic unit. Like, why have a research center with fluid ports? That's my point. It's like, why a thing with fluids in a research center? Like, I don't... Just, no. No. Please. Why this building with its limitation to not use productivity? Give me the things. Give me all the things. Apparently I need more circuit 2s now. I have drained my circuit 2 supply. That's the stuff. I things. Yay! We did it. I can officially make Mark III pressure pumps. The last possible thing I could actually need at this point is a Mark III pressure pump, but hey, there we go. That's it. That's the beautiful things that I can make now. Why the hell do you need NEMs? Why? Does not compute. I do not understand. Why the heck does that one need NEMs? The Mark III casting unit. Like, hello? Utility science. Utility science is knocking. Wants to know where its NEMs are at. Like, my god. Seriously. Seriously. By the way, the chip shooter machine is very important. Biopolymer, of course it is. Alright. Good night. I am ending. I am ending. All these things need biopolymer. I need that very specific tech for it. But yeah, we are now in a much more... How should I put this? We are in a world that has progressed significantly, very quickly, but have not scaled production for that extra stuff that I'm now making. Which means that now is the time to start scaling stuff and to start doing alternative means of stuff instead of just trickles of stuff. And in the meantime, all of my bots are being upgraded to the Mark II level. I'm getting a whole bunch more better belts, more tools in the toolbox are now available. A lot more tools in the toolbox are now available. And what we'll find is that a lot of the new stuff that we can make is just place down the building to actually make it, because I have all of the other stuff to make it already. I do need to still set up the diamond chain. I still need to set up actual comounts, now that I can. Still need Fat Eye, still need Archods, still need Crydrens, still need Novens, still need Teatles, still need a whole bunch of the alien life at some point, because we're going to need them to get into utility science in the end, through the perfect samples, which are not alien samples. I refuse to refer to perfect samples as alien samples. They are not. If they were alien samples, they would be called perfect alien samples, and they are not used in the same way as the alien samples. But yeah, they are exclusively used for science. They are not used to produce any creature at this point in time. So they are two distinct categories of things. The great alien sample is the final alien sample, but it is not the final sample. I will admit that at the very least. So yeah, we've done stuff. It is now 12 past the hour, and I need to end off the stream here as I see the Mark II Logibots. The Mark II Logibots are boxes Our flying cream-colored boxes. The flying cream boxes. That's what they are. There they go. They are faster, which is very relevant. Progress should ideally be faster going forward, because I have all this stuff now. So that's my main point. And I'll be able to produce things in greater volume faster now that I have a new set of tools at my disposal. So with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you're watching the VODs on YouTube, do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat to leave a follow to be notified when I go live, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can do all of the social stuff through the links below the video, including supporting Pyandon's mods development at patreon.com/Pyandon, and myself at patreon.com/OtakuShowboat. I will, of course, be back on Sunday, where we're going to do something. I don't know. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. It depends on what I get done off screen between now and then. But yeah, we're going to figure out something to do. There's a lot to choose from. Like, you know, I'll probably just set up the real Vanadium off screen, because it's a lot of logistics problems there that I think will just end up being boring to really watch get set up. But yeah, we've done Super Alloy and Super Steel, and yeah, special. Yeah, that's all. That's done now. Hello. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will see you all then.